Death is like the winter chill. No door can keep it from us. And summer yet may bloom again, though ice be all upon us.
My child, there is so much to tell you, but I have run out of time. The sacrifice I made was not enough. The dark gods still feed on our transgressions. Corruption. Obsession. Deceit. Rage. You must face these demons.
Legend from Total War here, and today I'm extremely excited to finally be able to talk to you guys a bit about Total War Warhammer 3. So we've actually got some concrete information now. We'll discuss that, and we'll also do a bit of speculation. We just got to see the announcement trailer there, which I think was the best announcement trailer so far for a Total War game. But then again, I could be really biased about that because I'm a huge fan of Total War Warhammer now. Anyway. So if you're new to Total War Warhammer in general, and you want to be able to find a reliable source to follow the production of Total War Warhammer 3 and know more about Warhammer 1 and 2, my channel pretty much exclusively covers Total War Warhammer these days, so hit that subscribe button and I'll do my best to inform you and educate you about what's going to be expected about this, I think, amazing game, and what we've already got in Warhammer 1 and 2, because this is really an expansion that's going to build upon what's already existing, and I think it's going to conclude everything really nicely, based on everything that I've seen so far. Anyway, let's talk about the concrete information about Warhammer 3. Stuff that we know is going to be available. This is all public information now. You can find this information on the Steam page. So we're going to get 6 new races for Warhammer 3. There's going to be 4 new Chaos factions. So one for each of the Chaos gods. So one for Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Slaanesh. They're each getting their own race, not just their own faction. So that might mean that they can't confederate within each other, which kind of makes sense since they don't really work together very well, but that's the case. And we're going to get 2 new Order races, one of them being Kislev, which was the headliner for the trailer here, commanded by the Tsarina Ice Queen Katarina. So she's obviously going to be one of the legendary lords that's going to headline Warhammer 3. And the other one, which was teased out over here, was Grand Cathay. So they're going to be the 6th level race for the base game for Warhammer 3. Now, this is really exciting because not only did I predict that Cathay was going to be in Warhammer 3, but Cathay doesn't have much lore or army books in it currently. So a lot of what's going to be included in this game is going to be completely new material. There could be entirely new legendary lords, new units, new lore. So it's something completely new, not just for Total War, but for the Warhammer community. So I'm really excited to see what exactly they're going to do with Cathay, because it's just all going to be new for the most part. There's obviously some things that they can draw upon. And in terms of the 6 new playable races, there's going to be 9 new legendary lords. So just a little bit of speculating here. I think there's going to be 2 for Kislev, 2 for Cathay, and 5 Chaos Demons. So going over possible legendary lords, we're obviously going to get Katarina for Kislev, and the second one is possibly going to be Yuri. Now, looking at the wiki, there's a guy called Yuri Kovalenko who has a bit of a relationship with Katarina, and we can read this message here, and they didn't put this here by accident. If you can see here, if you just read it, basically Katarina is getting him to complete this task, whatever that might be. Obviously, most of the message is obscured, but I'm sure there'll be some people that'll be able to figure out what it is. It's probably going to just be sort of like the Order of Lawmaster situation, where with the High Elves Warhammer 2, you've got Tyrion staying in Ulthuan, and you've got the Order of Lawmasters that have gone on an expedition to Lustria. It's probably going to be the same sort of thing, whereas Katarina will start in Kislev, and Yuri will start somewhere else. That's who I think the 2 legendary lords for Kislev are going to be. There could also be Boris, Katarina's father, but you kind of got the idea that he might have died in this trailer here. So it could be there, might not, hard to say. As for the legendary lords for Cathay, I think the Emperor is supposed to be like a Jade Dragon, or the Celestial Emperor, or something like that. So that might be what he's represented with here. As for the other legendary lord possible for Cathay, have no idea. Now let's talk about Chaos. So I think there's going to be 1 major headlining lord for each of the Chaos Gods, and Khorne's champion was sort of given up over here. Yeah, there we go. I think that this is Skarbrand. It could be Kabanda. It could be a number of other bloodthirsters. We definitely know this is a bloodthirster, right? But I think it's going to be Skarbrand. Now, the thing about Skarbrand, though, is that Skarbrand is kind of exiled by Khorne. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out when you're sort of playing as the headlining racial leader that is also in bad terms with the god. So we'll see how that plays out. As for the other Chaos Legendary Lords, we don't know, but they speculated. If you look on the Steam page, there is a lord that is mentioned that says it's an ancient entity that is looking for a champion. So I was trying to piece together exactly where these legendary lords are going to be placed. And because there's like an odd number of legendary lords, I thought that the 9th legendary lord might have been a Chaos Lord that's not actually in either of the 4 new races, but instead this 5th Chaos Lord is actually going to be inserted into an already existing faction, Chaos Undivided. I think it's going to be Be'lakor. Now, Chaos Undivided is kind of already in the game, but it's called Warriors of Chaos. It's just that they haven't got the rest of their roster currently. So what I think, and this is total tinfoil hat talking here, I think that Be'lakor is going to be a playable lord in Warhammer 3 in the Warriors of Chaos, which will be rebranded as Chaos Undivided, and that Archaon and Kolek and Sigvold may or may not be available in the base game, but will be available in the Mortal Empires variant, if you own all 3 games. That's what I think, but I don't actually know. At first I thought it might have been Nagash, and I think a lot of people will think that this ancient entity looking for a champion is Nagash, but I don't think it fits the theme that well, because it seems to be more a case of order versus chaos just to begin with. I'm sure Nagash will be put into the game eventually, but I think that'll be a DLC lord or just something later down the track. Also, Nagash is supposed to be dead, so hard to say exactly how they're going to handle that. But I personally think it's going to be Be'lakor, but I don't know for certain. So, in terms of the gameplay, what do we know so far? Well, we're actually going to be able to invade the Chaos Realm, not just the Chaos Waste. The Chaos Waste is sort of like the No Man's Land, which is sort of owned by Chaos, between the mortal realms and the Realm of Chaos. And I suspect it's going to work like this. the Chaos factions will start within the realm of Chaos, and they can settle fortresses within the Chaos realm. And they can invade the mortal realm and blow up settlements. Or maybe they can only occupy like outposts and they're like red territory, uninhabitable sort of things. And the forces of order can do something similar where they can invade the realm of chaos and they can blow up the chaos fortifications, but they can't occupy it, sort of thing. And the goal of the game could be to just destroy the other side, whichever side you're on, sort of thing. That's what I suspect, but I don't actually know for certain. I kind of suspected, you know, before the trailer, that the 4 demons of chaos were just going to be like horde factions, like the warriors of chaos currently are, which would have been okay, but a little bit disappointing. But what they're seemingly going to do, I think, is a lot more exciting. All right, so another thing that we want to talk about is the pre-order race for Warhammer 3. So if you pre-order Warhammer 3, you're going to get a pre-order bonus, and it's going to be a race pack. Now, I think most people are going to safely assume it's going to be Chaos Dwarfs. I don't think it's going to be Ogre Kingdoms. I think Ogre Kingdoms will come later. The Chaos Dwarfs, this is what I think. They're going to get the same sort of treatment that Norska got for Warhammer 2. So, in case you're not familiar, when you pre-ordered Warhammer 2 back in the day, you got Norska for free, but Norska was playable in Warhammer 1. So I think if you pre-order Warhammer 3, you'll get the Chaos Dwarfs, which will be playable in Warhammer 3, but they'll also be playable in the Mortal Empires campaign for Warhammer 2. So you'll be able to play them before Warhammer 3 comes out, I think. Got no confirmation about that. I don't know. It's pure speculation. But if we have a look at all the things that are sort of pointing to it, it does kind of make a bit of sense. There's a huge area in the Darklands, which is where the Chaos Dwarfs are supposed to live, that is there. It's like the map is there, but just blanked out. And Creative Assembly have been slowly filling that area out. We just got the Silver Pinnacle area. We recently got the Flayed Rock area. They're slowly filling out the Chaos Dwarf area. And so there's probably going to be some updates soon, which will just add a whole bunch of territory and the Chaos Dwarfs, and they'll just play on Mortal Empires. Maybe. I'm not certain about that. I don't think that the Chaos Dwarfs are going to be available to play on the Vortex campaign. So it's kind of clever, I think, what they're doing here, because they're kind of getting you to buy Warhammer 1, 2, and 3, which I think is good incentive to do that. Because, you know, the experience for Warhammer 2 is good on its own. But if you want the full experience of Warhammer 2, you really need to own Warhammer 1 as well. Because really, this is all just one big game. And it's just 3 parts to the same game. And this just incentivizes people who probably haven't purchased Warhammer 1 and 2 yet to do so, and just gives them a little bit of a reward to do it. That's what I think. Again, not entirely sure. So that's what I think about the pre-order bonus, but I'm more than happy to discuss it with you guys about what you guys think the pre-order race will be. And another bit of like housekeeping. This is really important here. If you're going to pre-order Total War Warhammer 3, just keep in mind that it is going to be available on Steam and on the Epic Games Store, and that the 2 stores are not going to communicate with each other. So if you own Warhammer 1 and 2 on Steam, but then you purchase Warhammer 3 on the Epic Games Store, you will not get access to Mortal Empires for Warhammer 3. So if you own Warhammer 1 and 2 on Steam, please purchase Warhammer 3 on Steam. If you want to purchase Warhammer 1, 2, and 3 as in you don't have it, and you want to purchase it on Epic Games Store, that'd be fine. And I believe multiplayer will be available cross-platform, but if you own DLC from one platform, you won't be able to access it on the other. So just be aware of that. Basically, stick with a platform and purchase all of your Total War Warhammer products on that one platform, wherever that might be. So just be aware of that stuff before you pre-order. But anyway, I'm super excited about Total War Warhammer 3, obviously. I've been hyped about this game for like years waiting for it. I'm going to be covering it extensively, as I have been covering Total War Warhammer 2. I expect to be doing a ton of Total War Warhammer 3 gameplay as it comes out, and I'll keep you informed about any information that I can inform you about. At this point here, I now know nothing that isn't already public knowledge, and I'm just speculating on things that aren't yet public knowledge. And I'll be starting a live stream pretty much now. If you've got any further questions, come onto the live stream. You're more than welcome to ask me any questions. I'm sure there will probably be a fairly high turnout, so just bear with it. It might be a little bit hard to get a question through. But we've got, I believe, a really supportive community that's really well behaved and just really love this game, Total War and Warhammer. And I think that Total War Warhammer in general has really brought a lot of the Total War and Warhammer community together. So I'm really looking forward to covering it with you guys. I hope you guys are excited too, and I'll see you soon.